NADMO as an institution, yeti omonka wa bra nsuo eto ne nsuo yiri nkofo. But anka NADMO wo medwuma esobo ye no. Egumu bebre. Na wo mo yempon issues about funding etisen.
I say, no so cry.
Nti ehonmo no na ye issue ni say our government and successive administrations, any future administrations that must begin to prioritize flooding. Say a major national security threats. Any people can say yes, essential threats to humanity.
Mami mawakwaba ene ebiom so from Kasa fee. Na ene no what do you say ekukudam bi no na ehia Alexander Nana Adogbe ene no menene ehia ye ba betwetwe enkomo ewo Kasa fee jubedie so of course when you say medini there you already know your friend is citizen Kofi Owusu. Many Alexander said I'm can born it, you know, but himself be him than that. He's the host of Yepehunu, a war 92.3 FM, or nona and a day, many days here, did your memo comments and say, oh, shit, Nancy in Suya, a 2 year, a jaya rehobebre, and I saw a jaya at Binvini Bebre, said, a bayer dang said, and Kadim said in Sudia toa. Anka shirama o mine nanso nso timi to na baba ye no me e de ma o mine e bi na nanse nso ye to ye me no me no ye nyina ye hu de si ye o hwe figures NADMO any the other institutions so mo come bo mu a o mo eboa no e kire especially nipa wonu afa mu awu de o mayira kura ye hu mo ene onwo mo nya bebi kura fa wonu ti kura ento onu kra de ombedie ene de onu be hye ene kra ya asem omo mo chapade bi ti se cars warehouses nyama efri mu ene nyama wodo bebre enti o hwe na sen so ye to ye a o hwe the magnitude of the impacted by it so how na de by no na yasefem na mejidi se ye bobo ho ye didi nkomo no na de ahwe nyina ne se da chie da ye ni no se so bi se koto a you bet to trade me yes in the young cosa tibia no bio but you baby said say so ye to ye ni o ha work of abaye yen timemuni no afa bi emfa so bone mo yen ankasa ye ho ana so emfa so bone emmo apan se me kan ban ya me kan se ndc aban otiso yi na so aban ya abakọ aban ya atwemu aban ya ewo ho ne no emfa so bono ena emmo aban ya na ana se emfa so bono emmo yan kasa ye ho a etititi ye esan se ebi kan se ohwe bola na egu nsuo nani ohwe ene akwan ahodo a ene ye nsuo tene bia ye sisi sakwan ni nyina da no be bisa se eye ho ya asede eye me timemuni no asede ana se eye aban asede enti da be bisa se ka se ye bo bi so bo a emfa so bo no emmo aban no ana se emfa so bo no emmo yankasa ye ho anu ti na enedue ye hia e wakasa fi ya mene Alexander Nana Dogbe eba betwetwe sa enkobi nana
Kofi
boko dia
boko ya say shame
I was a bibia fine.
Fine.
I see ajabete o and so ahadi pa
ere ho sempa
me na me say me no my affected because me brother pa ehun kan ye na you know anya bibia na ya to the bia
sure yeah
o de to dua ekoba ye yi bibia obeda de one ne yire ne mabedie de ono be hye ni nyina ese otimi buabu nti one way or the other no o hwe nsuo no a how ekofa ba ye no a se wonu amfa obi kura no a ehun beka
correct
because I was so yi bi ma onua bi a no go kan dua nti of course you are also affected nti because only obi wa adwuma mu na bia oni ne adwuma ba ko bom na bia mo ye production bi na adwuma no kura no say but to yes we say bet me I bear about 10, 20, 30 production a day. Na anyone ma. I don't
Production
think
so better.
so a pine crown
A bit lose revenue.
a bit lose a lot of revenue.
GDP.
And yes, you know, it's not just only affecting those that are victims,
Yes.
but I can't piara our tio memo for me, I think we just don't have to concentrate on no more campaign, but entirely you only say your money or mine because if not more the data and that's our stats and
current statistics.
It was about 7 regions that has been affected by this current flood it tells you clearly say it's almost the entire country and your problem and so any they see any in your mind one kasa wode when who be bola e wo mu baby say so ne fa na kura na enya ho so ne fa atinefa baby because who titi nkofo bi kura se mo ka say this is the first time they're experiencing flood and I say so bi kura da you understand so it tells you say any that is a BP atochi maybe e wo baby and anything that maybe say na ye no abano exposing say o mayana and then 2 you can say boy who so boa because young boy who so boa no ye hunu baby ase adenu free so sometimes we need to apportion blames and then know the root cause of the problem, then going forward we find solution to those things. Tell maybe say as the rain expose us as a nation and
certainly mayema kasafie ahwefo akwaba na fenso no yen sure mo say abrina bring no subscribe to the page na woman like no mo for comment so from be mama etimi ayekese na fenso no educative content say bi no ebenya brain yakonya no na brain ya yedi ama wo no. I think that it is right sense you say yes. Now to your question, if free infinisia fe ahankron edionum innum 1995 in June, and Ghana a witness such a catastrophe into toye a din sujiri a de bro me ye ni pam pem you know one more a bossesa and a free summer no ebe pem a fee more 2026. Then you ask yourself, sir, the most critical question the obusa ye the sobona ebe bo successive government and the bebo ye motime mufo na amanyofo na say aban mo hwe so na so mo di so na ana. Now assembly say we need a shared responsibility when it comes to 1 year I was say they blame the man, but aban ebe for the lion's share of the responsibility, because in terms of allocation of resources, which is 1, 2 systems I was say aban edigu akwemu to ensure say various assemblies, the residents within the assemblies, wamo ebetimi are moving in line with government agenda. Any policies or the beba say what it be see future if you are datching in Sudan no. The question is, have successive government over the years woma yesa na womo yesa no timemufo no so woma keka a womo de je aban anohoba e wosa kwan ne so no impempenso ban ne tim koko druye. I think that is the chapter of the conversation. I didn't know 1 aban on afemudie no our government omwetwa mko nyina no ebepem this current administration womu nyina na efebi no womo obia wo sinto ene ekwan yesan kofa so ekonsu yiri no womo ntimi afa sa kwan papa ne so ahwe timemufo ne so ye meme ne o ene ahwefo mo hwe ne so no efebi nso no womo so ebeji sobo ne bi because womo so no aban ni ye bi ode baaye no matter how little esekete wese womo so mo ntimi ansomo amana mboa amempempenso bi no ensuo ni to a yenti se ensuo atom ensuo yiri ama baabi e bi amampanyi betie no eho no nsugiri akofa mampanyi ne da yenti bi sada because often these areas are national security zones.
I see.
And in the construction of residents and edifices for our high profile government officials, the executive no di kind they take into consideration natural disasters such as flooding, landslides, earthquake, zoning and mapping baby on betna. These things are put into check, reality check, such that say catastrophe biya koko bad that end of cancer for no. But Kofi, me no. Sabe. Ye tibiemu. Won eba na ye region bi e wo mantemu bi e wo apri wo mu asase bi eteso ebi enfie bi edu bi atwam ne ye dido afuo enso ne nam say ahokyire bi e ba nti no the allodious owners of the land ebi are the chiefs or the opinion leaders and also bi otonton sase wo manye bi etwetwa tonton nti na meme ne ono yakakotena saa areas no nti ye Ghana fo num bi a wo mo eni asasi abeka se asasi we dey sensuo to a asasi no eni ensuo eni twaka bia fa ne nsuyiri ana sensuo bi ada ne nsuso ya etene ebetimi de ohaw e de abrewo ebi mu won ma motete areas a eho ya from or swampy areas ebi motete areas a hono no nationally ya categorize these areas as a be a hono areas ensuo to pan se ekodu a certain millimeters of rainfall a hono betimi eyiri Ghana for etete honomo. Now Ghana for to honomo, it should take systems and a certain mindset and approach by government through the coordinating agencies, maybe the assemblies, the NADMOS, the national security, and no more sefata so umbetimi ide bad I ensure so baby your man for it when it comes to it being future national catastrophe. If you ask the question, yes. Where the onus of burden and responsibility is between the people that our governments are presiding on leading, or abanankasano or no for to sound for now or nukuta all the states powers na so to ensure so the citizens do the right thing. The question is that in terms of systems and structures, dear no mayafa ho.
Asem nana wakabi nanso obi baka say asem no akwakoye chese unhuru niti unhuru nine nanso said ya wakam na chese it will be responsibility
Differently
say yakura timemufo no kura no say yakura no ye kan bi like I saying say abai takes the bigger share because I don't know where abai nti nyenyenye na ebako swe wonu abai no na boboa no and abai and abeswe wa abai boboa no say no I don't know ka say wakoyi skebia ye de ehwe nana asemi ya obo so nyina no ade ba ko na strike me na bibi sa me ho say nti bekoba ne sen ena oman no nsu atona fe ama de enyen sese yete ne sese hu nyina no ena nyina esisi sisi ano eye wan asede se wo se yehwe se de asi no ebin konkosi bio na ide ne beye sisi sika yi a mampeni eyi de abayi be 300 million Ghana cedis so said 50 million cedis of the abayi eye wan asede na enupo no ebeso hana no na see now what can be about your systems and your structures I man o bana kasankasa na ye wo plan bi da ho ana cause say abaya bako saba enti na o my abakosem kra say nsu no kra no similar be say ya top
in 1995.
That was in 1995.
Yeah.
Enti sabre bi toye ene de see ye wo June 3rd de ye hu ye no kra no nye
enu kra no
China be frame
enyu be frame
ka enya de ananka ano den gidigidi sa iwu ni nyina to nchen ya obeka say ye ni any framework bi e da ho a yaka say as o man no ye ni nhihye bi ayaya to afa nsuo eyiri ye ho e wo man ni mu enti efiri afisei ebekọ afisei no sikesei enas o man no ye twa to a ye hwese ye betumi e de ayo akomia say esia na obia ba be kan de obeka bia ewia na yekọ esia obia be kan bia na eja wokọ enti isi folding community na bibisa me say your national development plan
40 years.
I haven't had time to go much into it. And I bibisa me who says if we have all this development plan I say o my munankasa yetimono. Yes, your plan and I say your framework ya to purposely for this flooding it is saying
Kofi Omano nka me say agudie e ye ni so.
Oh
yes, ye pagudie pa isan say this 40-year national development plan I will can say me. It was first of all engineered by our first president, who happens to be our first prime minister, Dr. Osajefo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And into we crampono na ye the pre-colonial, and ye the post ye bebenya Republican status ye what the fourth republic. Now fourth republic in so currently ye what the ninth parliament. Your NDC MPP. They are being the rebound of the NDC in government and the MPP in opposition.
Yeah.
We are always interested in winning the next election and not amount for no it be provided the basic amenities in terms of development and safety, public safety at the amount. But they be a young conscience, a appetites, and they said unye tumia adia chia obesai adwini tumia dachi osusu se ne sabeti miaka.
Yeah.
It into a banesa Nioma who do be as politically, amonyuni no oye, no the pre to me no, and no be ye. And Nioma a can me no, a fire who no I say, womu dream ye home, now womu dream conkind to meet the expectations of the national development planning agenda no, and no the empower because say a buying be epese or didn't saw the national development planning agenda anymore. And also or a lot of commitment. Lot of commitment it be a funding. Lot of commitment it be the human resource capacity. Now by nankasa na woba no. Okuta manifesto our there by any blueprint. And it is so achieve even a half or 2/3 of the manifesto promiser and a living testimony a year the social contracts. When your man for no more to abanema no no and ya the other establish a 40-year national development planning mo on fan in some fancy
manifesto
pepe no the abaye na busa won say manifesto be mean say politically we are political we political consciousness now if we say when if ya we be ye nsentrunia ne man for nim say amanyosem de e ba unim otiase pa no political party be na or ye campaign and in a run up to any national major elections what is so or year manifesto and why locating a component of the manifesto why allocation of a component of the manifesto for flood preventive measures what it be sada no what it be sada na Debbie ebini honomo I didn't know say one more you mentioned something. Yes, in Seattle, in June, July, August, and September, Ghana, a wettest season. A moon in Su, Busio, in Sujidi, in Seattle, Ghana, we are noted for it. And then baby, I war on the equator. But the woman say, in Sujidi, Ebeba June, and July, the adoption of the knee-jerk approach. In Seattle, in Seattle, giddy. For two nationally. A woman will be an Indian Sakobom. If it's in 1993, it is uncommon way. 96, ye didn't sound come away. 2000 ye di 2008 2009 ye di 2012 ye di 2016 ye di atwa so amene ye 2026. We still have a democratic elected government ODSO. Successively na no in a democratic elected head of state and our government. So aban bia o memu o ma bia no their priority is not say bia one bedwin say futuristically Ghana yebedum pempenso bia obeka say bia natural disaster be to say bia earthquake and say nsuyiri ebetimi atete ya na the bottom line is no edikofi yebekwa babiom in 2027 me no besa ba studios ha e wo kasafie ne ba be di flood e honkomo me no besa aka emi edimu nkomo say flood ni siye no and the national data yesi nipa be say edumie no no crime no. It will be a contested because there could be more.
Yeah.
Now, NADMO is still retrieving dead bodies. along the beaches, along certain areas in point nsuo ento me hɔ no eyiri da no and nsuo atɔ me hɔ no nyina eyiri. And then NADMO say or the betudwa say data suggested say over 38,000 people have been displaced.
Yeah.
Come to Tema West, over about 3,000, 4,000 plus. Now the Western region, the Nipa nkomo fami we Western region, Nipa be over 18 to 19 or 22 or nyina fam. The displacement alone, danye ebubu, danye edwiri, lorry kwanya asay, edikofi, issues about flooding. And I'm saying this holistically, without not being biased to any political party currently. Odi Omangana so say our successive administration and our current government, wamu enyenya enough commitments and the political will. Say a bani in Sujiria, a component or a quota of their national budgets, a component of their manifesto pledges. Wamu eyidi si hon mo say yeba power. It will say June, July, if you want more aircon, ensure tie a yiri. It ensure talk ensure a year through the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Say your ministry be the sanitation ministry, COBC, any pinano, or national security, NADMO, and assemblies. These are the plan. These are the implementation, evaluation of your funding. Say you be contingency fund mo. Say you be catch you be doing commercial corporate Ghana. Say you engage stakeholders. Say you do June, July, na say you yiri eba agenda that hold money, plan that hold money. Assume you na so benten, and then you know eba yaman mandate, yaman be executive power because bibian call parliament. Ema yehu si menya institution bia utimi address national disasters and as national catastrophes. In the currently central government or the systems or the structures it been in the ministry boy and the local government, it been in assemblies, it been in NADMO as an institution. Yeti omonka wa bra insuo eto ne insuo yiri nkofo. But anka NADMO wo medwuma esobo ye no. Egumu bebre. Na wo mo ye issues about funding etisen.
I say and also cry.
Nti ehon mo no na ye issue ne say our government and successive administrations, any future administrations must begin to prioritize flooding. Say a major national security threats. Any people can say yes, essential threats to humanity. Now in terms of productivity. And then met me a catch say Ghana, say afimu biano, any busumi biano, say omemuni nyinano, per the Ghana Statistical Service. One more monthly, weekly reports about the bar regarding the performance of the local economy. Say in the month of May, yenya bese 1 trillion. I can tell an authority say in the month of June, June yentime hit yen target simply because we fail to plan. Even if we plan, you're planning very poorly. You're very reactive. Ni any clear-cut policy. Say that you be insuyiri eba. Kwan we na si etimi fa so. Ni nyina akọ yese ni jek. Nsuo ni to na manfo niema eko. Amanfo adwuma eguo. Ene ye yi omanfo edi. Membe hu document bi a ye yi nkofo edi simply because you see nsuo ato. Amom offices na no. Yes. Ye yi omadi.
But I also heard the news this morning.
Yes.
The minister has reinstated them.
It is what very proactive said the minister assume that kind of responsibility.
But you see,
you understand?
Like I'm saying, now the steps are buying a to you can't about what we the citizenry to have to do send a buyer or chinabino. Even if we may face the challenges, they won't be to that extreme you're facing on and seeing at the end. Nana, ya can win in every on mine as on mine a teeny at dear. I was say, yeah. You see, my main favorite being just recently, and soon started to say autonomy who said the interior ministry, no, am I some alert on our WhatsApp phones. I don't know more.
Yes,
whatever
messages, alerts from the interior ministry. Public safety.
Where abanya
yeah.
Yes, some of us.
Of course, yeah. You me fan
but then the information was very vital.
Yes, and very swift.
Very swift. And if that information could go out within a second or 2 or 3, na prayer. Nana, a thing I bet me see a pine and quine say. Now, certain vital informations are being anti-memonino. I was said more in term of the mom. Because in Sway, it took a lot of people by surprise. With Jesus on him. And it comes down to information. Yeah, the Maya as on Maya tomorrow. Because Nana, me Jesus information from the Interior Ministry, no, and the buyer through the telcos nearby, you know. If had come in earlier, because some of us that have traveled before, some countries are almost prone to earthquake,
and natural disasters.
Natural disasters. Your alert systems. Chrome. More alert systems. Chrome. Those that comes on your dashboard, even on your phone, whether you are using a WhatsApp or any app, be using and your the abiding say didn't crap on also be at me every through those bulky text messages on time.
The cell messages.
And in as much as we are discussing this flood issue, which we may not know when again is going to happen, but the meteo is giving us some information that there was going to be more rains. And it's so never toss are we going to information in the biome? Abaya Kado say to see those mitigation measures now or person go shouldn't just have to be yanko toy granny, yanko a blanket in yanko pen shoe bucket in yanko paper mattress and go back on medasono. And maybe I now. But if government could get us those technology by where they can fix some alert information systems around the country, because
siren round for emergency.
Yes. Yeah. What I say? I believe Sana by the corner there. But the question has to do, they say, I didn't today I say to me ma oyindi and also how busy and Sana it was Sana to say.
Kofi, my memo was a mina tofa na arefo womunya womohonti asiye. Bakon a lack of proper information management.
Yes, sure.
And 2, we are failing to invest in technology. And 3, education.
Yeah.
Now the chatwa cry ya na mpempi no e ha men ne se o memu no ene bi bufu ankasa no ye pemoto ho. Me kana mi wo baby. Then I saw the alert by the Interior Ministry cautioning the public. Say wa wunye free fee no tenefie. But you have somebody instructing the driver that me pentema kwadwuma o. Me pentema kwadwuma na
because onfa sa alert crowd
enfanya hwe. Now, proud to this, Ghana met you consistently with their weekly, daily updates about the weather forecast. And I know you do a lot. Busame say, enipa hen enya sa information no mu nyampo a obi ani timi kan obi ani timi nya ne ho ntiase. And this is where education and in the lives of government involvement through the National Commission on Civic Education comes in. So emeyen twɛn emeyen na ho no mo emeyen nya moto ho no mo ko drum pempenso a yesi yebako wura ensu toye ebremu ansana yedi ensu yiri ho enkomo.
Okay.
Emeyen twɛn ma bibi nsi se ensuo ato na eyiri for manfo ansana ya hyase akɔpepe sirens and alarms abobo vantage areas ne ceremonial street crack here any mu kuma mu se ema alert say bia bia bosumi mu ne na wotwe mu no ensuo beto ensuo ni beto na say bia udum pempensuo bia ensuo ni ewo se timi ha adwene na wote ani bi say ya peba bi fa yini bibisa. So I believe that holistically if government want to adopt a more robust and a proactive measures to so they be see in Sujirina no kwan dia and also bind to me committee a lot of resources in terms of funding like I mentioned technology the education through the right agencies are Omo mandated by government. Domoma the education and education of flooding and ko omanfo etirimu ye.
I see.
Yes. Yeah, any side betimi aboa.
I see. And I'm saying, come on, you can't have a see what. Sesi I don't how the nyaba.
Yeah.
Na adeba kwa me hu se yem firing ko hobibiri. Nanso me hu se the health minister so afọ hwe ya pomudin sem so aba be kan wansem se I was say alert on any outbreak be betimi aba. If
that is serious.
Yeah, to
very, very serious.
After say and so that fire actually
very, very serious.
Yeah, we are counting our losses. Also now better say there is a cholera or any disease outbreak.
Communicable disease
because of say yeah swift into how to clean up the mess flood no cause. Ojidi say etiena ase abaye timi eyon intem because currently share the devastation are very huge, and Ghana you can only make mention of Zoom Lion and some few other waste management are ojidi say in terms of cleaning ono betimi abwa ana ediena say abani etimi yo now because after the flood no we are now seeing the mess akose dead bodies are here who so no any asala no so no go so tata nkrofo edem enyane a ebi sufi asoki no a still our family no feel say that is their last I don't know more enti ene ye be dead no kakra na ya ho na ya san no ya de yedi ye hu nkrofo no mo sesa biscuit ni other product
egun sufi
ni and so we so no hu no say and so no sign the we are na yedenti no obi agya na be wo bi obi awu ahun suo kura no
residues from the hospitals,
yes,
clinics,
waste emusie ye maybe so ne nam fareba afrafra nyoma eba and ohwe Ghana fo na wo so mu na yes sir and mami bia na also yes school feeding or say beans ya no the school feeding ne muna da de so na ai
ni nyina
abun kam ni nyina enye ni nyina so ne fa ko but e be da so won so de mo no timi nya no se sai
so obennoa am school for na
da come school for am
bombedi
enti
mama typhoid
aftermath of this flood no the mess across no e dey say ban it me
I was a Aban enter into a public-private partnership with waste management organizations. Aban kwa intimi enye. So Aban kwa pese oya, the burden will become so grievous to the extent say the devastation post the flood no. Ebe cost ropa because who did two chance say omanfo ahwere ejapadia. Omanfo obi word so very allergic. You understand? Before be allergic to scent, niema muhwia, niema ewa environment mu ensubi kubo ma ensubi kra fa ne ho kra otimi develop some form of rashes ewo ne honamani. I don't know. Abai one should liaise with the Ghana Medical Association, the GMA. Abai should also liaise with I don't want to promote any waste management institution, but you and I know. So we off head. So okay, waste management institution back home memoir on a Zoom Lion good. And in that regard, I was buying a fresh Zoom Lion and paying for the biomonso no buying so also liaise with the chiefs and the opinion leaders because of information and the need for these people to be quarantined. There are certain areas also buying to me buoni panano. Say be more now na necessary will be a free ha ekoha. There should be some form of restrictions. Kopemra aban betimi ama some form of emergency need to safu in ansana. Ebia baby a one person omuko ekudu omudwuma say ye dwuma and obi kokosro obi etu kwan no nipa na timi akọ. De toso nso ene se ma aban entwen bebre esan se de kekan nyina no ye ho abakwasem wo ho. There was some of the African countries ebi mu na omuye prone to war ntokwa. Na the post war no yenya emu sebe nipa mu na dead down the streets emu no process aban na efa so yi bi no bepemo ne ebi mu ka asase ase de na wo ka no decomposition so contamination so efuntam asase no nipa asebe ada wada ne emu asebe wewu a wapro atete sebe aka asase ase ene enu so aduane ebe contamination de yade de bre omo ene wo mu didi sa asase ne so edinti no aban should get that urgent need say in ten more man nche ensuo no tonwie ye ensuo no beku so ato but say o hyase etu anamo bi say ya eno betimi aboa epa ema epidemic bi ebe unity no ebia yade bi wodoma yesi esiye ewo eyeteshi ena atena aba nwa efiri nwa na ebatema efiri tema no na eko eye ashaiman na yezidi so adenta madina pantan na eko jowlu se aban efa kwan bi so na se utimi toto ne niema yie na one wo mo apomodin adwumayefo ekasa yie wo mo so mo prapra kromu etiti efin ehwe se amanfo tibre tibia mu etesen wo mo ye fumigation se ntiase yie adwuma na nationally yenya this blueprint eda honomo na ban se o taking one after the other okono be say the covid-19 eba ye ema ye the restrictions any vaccination is anema ni nyina etimi ekoso a etimi boa ye esi sa okona no enti yemfa we se omemo no ye wasrafo but Africa and Ghana yes a beacon of hope yen konto kwa yen tokwa ye ku
na ni twaro so kra we na wo bi ka se baby amani ye dru no na wo ka se yen kra yen ko fa soja ban brother say
David edru ho
no sa soja
and also the consequences yes and also the consequences
obejidi se baby amani ye dru no sa enforcement teams need to say tax force na they no kind be na or tankers wo ho wo ye fin wo fie o dan anim store anim a tankers for no be ho a o mesama
no correct
na o skebi o betwa ma o betua wontimi ntua so ya de wakotwere fiase say when me sa mra na hihye so sade we ebaya na fe beto ebedo ye ho akita kwan bi aban en university sa ni bioma na sa tankase for ne tax force for all university biom because akomi I say o man wati mo no yaso I think akra say o man because enye yaso na den na yem fere ade a kamenye ni se obenum nsuo obeto aduane obeto bibi na wo wi a wato atwene abonten. And should we go back in those days where anasa town council force a town council no only on juma we sama na because be one say na wo hwe wo bi anima wo ton na de na wo hwe gata emufia yo ne bon nyinara na enye na sem ono na se wo de bibi ata so a obetimi ewuri atra na so obetimi afaso enye na hia no na emufia ni de so obetimi de onye so no ton de wo
so you crack the whip
and na de 19 crack
so you crack the whip nipa na o tegata bi so ana o tie nimu a odidwa so o ton aduane na aduane no assembly e wo Monday say so mutimi be yi se nipa na so trese be bia wo te e ton ade no e ho efido do enti free ho no mo na wo mo enye ya nipa na hye nimu se otua to e de ma ban enti na ya ban se de se be bia o ton ade no e ho ayi fi a enye na se de se so utimi eyi fi no utimi prapra fi no utimi hye fi no ne monam se otua to e ma ban ko ade e ya ban se de se aban e na ebe so ba ebe yi fi no e wo see national leadership wo agile sa transactionally approach wo mo ne timemfo no e wo no no mo hyase na wo mo protocol so mo crack the whip e mo manfo timi e da mo so say there is a national call, there is that sense of urgency to ensure that the proper thing ought to be done. Se do some pempenso no na maybe atwemuni near our town councils and tankers and any hot mobium. Busan say adentina in our level of development, you do pempenso be ni biaba. Your IT breso. In your so many innovations. I ne we are seeing na krukruwa cry and semo. Nenso no man for and no person who the harmful effects. Just so bonia e wo efin yemu ene so bi betena efin mu a ene wo hwe wo phone so na Google la ebe ma oni nyina AI de be ma wo ChatGPT de be ma wo adentina edum pempen so se ye wo mu nyina wo ye ho na ye ti yade mu na yade ekun yen yɛntimi nya saa adwen no nsusu yɛne sɛ yadeɛ na yɛtete yɛku yɛn no yɛn ankasa ne yɛyɛ sɛ afi no yɛte fi no ma yadeɛ ɛba yɛ so ɛno nti no once again we mu nyinaa no go back to government aban and baby Edru no we should stop negotiating mediocrity with the citizens adeɛ enye but memo no enam sɛ midika ka sɛ yɛdwen how to win the next general elections and not about the welfare of the ordinary citizens in Tino. Pempensu Edru no enie.
Na ese ebusia enkomo no yedidi bia dia kan so no fatwa yeso ewo ye Facebook page no na wa comment apinchire bi wo ho a obetime de ato ase wani gye ho se obedi sa komo yi bi kura no a obetime de no mato then you know you're fine, you're friend anyway doing come. Then one day you also join us here.
Oh, certainly.
Then we'll have the same conversation together.
Yeah.
Now I know so abua ama womaino etimi akon kainti. Nana Alexander Dogbe and I mean me din come on. Nana men na se ne.
Yeah.
Say to me back as fie am be between come on. Busia.
That's what.
Say yasa wa ni me friend me confuse citizen. Me adomwa ye besa so share kasa fie so bio. Na bobodi answer be subscribe to a channel no. Or Facebook or TikTok or YouTube or X or baby na was subscribe to Kasefi na awe tie nkomode na also de bia to unfo that's ne best as we share obi. Bye bye.